Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Dr. Chernick, and I've got another overview for you guys. This time, it is the DC Universe by Neil Gaiman Deluxe Edition. So this came out recently, I believe it was last week. And this collects a bunch of stories that Neil Gaiman did over at DC Comics. Big surprise, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious just from the title. So for those of you who don't know who Neil Gaiman is, shame on you. He's written wonderful things like Sandman, the book American Gods. He's done some Marvel books like The Eternals, and I think it was 1603. And he is a personal favorite of mine. He also wrote a few Death miniseries, which were fantastic. But of course, most people know him from Sandman and a bunch of other novels. Anyway, he did write some DC comics, and these are all in here. So you've got a large variety of books. You got some pages, stories he did in Secret Origins, a Batman black and white story, which is awesome, a solo story, some Wednesday comics. I don't know what those are, but I'm excited to read them. Green Lantern, Superman, Legend of the Green Flame. I'm very happy this is in here. I've been looking to read this for a very long time. And of course, Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader, which was, I believe, a two-part story. That is fantastic. So as you can see, $29.99 US, $39.99 Canadian. Somewhat pricey, I will say, but the content is really good. Great cover by Brian Boland, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I am. It looks like a Boland. It is, because you get the signature right there. Anyway, I know my artists, so I'm going to take the slipcover off. Dust cover. That's what it is. Now that I'm back and my English is back to normal, underneath the dust jacket, we've got the cover for Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader, the first part of it. Beautiful stuff. I believe it's Andy Kubert who is doing this series with him, so you just got the spine here. Nothing too wild. And on the back, you've got a nice Frank Miller piece for that Superman Green Lantern story. Pretty cool. And yeah, we'll just go through this a little. It's not the biggest book, of course. It's, I think, 200 some odd pages. You got the front there, more Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader stuff. Even more Caped Crusader stuff. I think that was like the main focus of this thing because it's just such a great story. Nice table of contents that goes through all the stuff. So you can see there's this will focus for me. There's a few, and I apologize, the lighting is also not very good. There's a few Secret Origins stories in here. Just let you guys sort of... This is a new phone as well, so the camera is slightly new. I apologize if I'm shaking as well. I am a shaker. But yeah. So starts off, you got your Secret Origins stuff. I'm just going to flip through this, show you guys how different it is. This is Mark Buckingham artwork. He's awesome. He's done Fables. For those of you who don't know his name off the top of the dome. Let's see whose art this is. It looks like it's here. It looks like Sam Keith art with a little Alan Grant story. Interesting. I didn't know about this. I'm very excited to get to the Batman black and white part of it, because that stuff is awesome. Take some more Secret Origins Batman stuff here. And the black and white story. Hadn't read this. I've read a bunch of black and white stories, but not this Neil Gaiman one. And that is Simon Bisley artwork. It looks gorgeous. Love the dude. It looks like Lobo does make an appearance in this story. So I'm very excited. I won't give away the whole thing. It looks like the solo bit here, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could be Superman Green Lantern. Again, I haven't read this, so I don't really... Yeah, so definitely Superman Green Lantern, but I'm very excited. It looks like it's a few chapters, so it was a one of those graphic novel releases. But yeah, it's not really a spoiler. This is like the second page of Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader, but it's really good. It's sort of a memoir to Batman. Just yeah, I mean, this is definitely worth the buy. I'd say if you're a Neil Gaiman fan, he adds a touch of magic to whatever he does. Some specials here from Mr. Kubert. But yeah, I mean, he is a writer who has a splash of magic to every story, even if it is a relatively plain story. There's just something about the way Neil Gaiman writes that is fascinating. So I recommend this. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and until next time, you stay classy, Internet.